Hey y'all, it's me, Hetty, again, and look, do I look the same? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I bet we can all figure I taped these at the same time, because it wore me out just I tried to halfway fix up for y'all. Anyway, I'm not even getting into that. So we're going to continue on with tale number 3, and I always call this Oblio's Arrow. Arrow was a wonderful, amazing dog. She started out as my brother's, and she was a Doberman, and she was so smart, y'all. She was amazing. Well, my brother was young and moving around, so she started staying with us. And then later on, we said, nope, she's ours now. So she ended up being our dog. Always his, of course. Yes, I know, she was yours, but she was also ours. So, because I know you're watching. Anyway, I'm going to tell. So Arrow, she was an amazing dog. I'm not even going to get into that, but I still miss her. And she has been gone. In fact, September, this was 31 years ago that this happened. 31 years ago this happened. So she came from Louisiana and everything, but she was already 13 and a half years old. And I don't know if you know a whole lot about dogs, or some do, some don't. I'm not saying they can't live longer, but 13 and a half is really old for a Doberman. And the way they're built and things like that. And she had been not feeling good and stuff, and she had severe hip dysplasia. And we had taken her to the vet a million times and tried different things, and she would rally for a long time. And now, at this time, we had just recently come from Louisiana. We hadn't even been there a year. And so in the beginning, now my sister and her husband and their babies came. They moved back to Louisiana later, but they came, they had their own house. My brother, my sister-in-law, and their kiddos, they had their own house. So it was just, I was in my early 20s, and it was me and Mom and Daddy. So we didn't know where we wanted to live yet. And so my parents had the idea, okay, well, we'll lease this house and then we'll get the feel of everything, which we did. So it was a little small house. We didn't need much. It was just 3 of us. And so anyway, we had Arrow there, and she every night had a long, you know how some of these small houses have that long little hallway, and the bedrooms and the bathrooms are all off this long, narrow hallway. It's not like big. And so I had a front side bedroom. It was just a 1-story house. And then we had, like, we called it the guest bedroom, was next to me, but there was nobody in there or anything. And then my parents were kind of a little catty corner, but across the hall, the doors were staggered. And so that my mom and daddy had that bedroom right there. To the left catty corner was my bathroom. They had their own bathroom. And then I had my bedroom. Every night, when it was time to go to bed, because I was working, and my daddy was working, and Arrow would, she'd sleep in the hall, guarding both of our doors. That's just how she was. Head facing out toward the front area of the house, and she was protecting us. That's how she did it every night. And I had my kitty cats with me in my bedroom. And she was happy just sleeping out in the hall like that. I mean, she came in with me sometimes, but, you know, most of the time she liked to be there at night. When she knew we were all going to sleep, she would get in her spot. And that was her spot for I don't know how long. So anyway, the inevitable happened. And it got so bad, the vet couldn't do anything. Hard decision to make. And that's all I'll say about that. And so we were all absolutely heartbroken. Absolutely heartbroken. And the bad thing is it happened on my daddy's birthday. So it was daddy's birthday, but then that happened. And we were just devastated. We didn't want to eat. He didn't want his birthday cake, nothing. So we plodded on. Several days had gone by. And but one thing I forgot to add is, when we would just say, you need to be a good girl, because she would hold it all night. But once in a while, if I was up in the middle of the night, I don't know, getting something to drink or going to the bathroom myself, I'd say, do you need to be a good girl? And she'd jump up, real happy. If I can locate one of the pictures on my computer, I'll put a picture in here. But anyway, so I'd let her out. She'd be a good girl, come right back in, settle down. And that's how we did it for I don't know how long. And we were all in this routine. And so anyway, she's gone. And but sometimes, once in a blue moon, maybe if I had been busy or Mom and Daddy had been busy, and we didn't let her out for her last potty break for the night. And it would happen once in a while, not very often, but it would. Well, if she had to go bad enough, she'd take her paw and whack my door, pah, pah, like that, And so she did that, and I'd get up. Oh, I'm sorry. You need to be a good girl. She'd go be a good girl, come back, settle down. That was that. So that's how we handled that. So anyway, like I said, the inevitable happened, and we were just devastated. So I don't know, it might have been 4 or 5 days later, and it was a weeknight, and I had to get up and go to work the next morning, and I'm sound asleep. And back then, when I was younger, I just slept like a rock, my mom always said. So anyway, I hear whack, whack on my bedroom door. I mean, not startling, it was just the sound Erin made when she needed to go be a good girl. So I was just, no pun intended, dead to the world asleep. And I got up and I stumbled to the door, and I opened the door and I said, do you need to be a good girl? And I opened that door. As I was opening the door, that's when I said, you need to go be a good girl. I was sleepy though. So I opened that door. Well, being so sleepy, I was on such autopilot, I had not even realized, it had not hit me that she was gone. I hope I'm looking in the right spot. And that she had been gone 4 or 5 days. So we always had a little nightlight out in the hall, and you could see the shadow under the door before you opened it. So I saw her shadow, and I went over there and you need to be a good girl. So I opened that door, and she's just sitting there, just as pretty with her paws out, looking at me, happy, just her little happy face. And, oh, y'all, there she was. But immediately I saw there was a glow around her. And this is true, y'all. This is so true. If you hear a guitar, that's just my husband playing. So I'd opened the door, like I said, and I saw her, and she's all happy and stuff, and give me her sweet girl look. And that's when I noticed there's a glow all around her, complete, underneath her, around her. And I'm still pulling that door open, and I'm seeing this because she's in her regular spot where she always is. And she looked at me like that, and y'all, she faded right in front of me. She just faded away. But she was, and I've always called this story Arrows Goodbye, because that's what it was. She was letting us know she was okay. I don't know why it happened, but it happened. And that was a really, I don't know if you get closure, but it helped with closure. And I was in shock. I couldn't move for a minute. I wasn't scared. I just was in disbelief that I had just seen what I had just seen, because that's when it hit me. Oh my gosh, she's gone. And I saw my mama was up. I could tell my mama was up. She was a night owl. I tend to be a night owl myself. I can't help it sometimes, especially when you're uncomfortable and you can't get to sleep. You wake up and can't get back to sleep. We all know that, don't we? that feeling. So anyway, I was in shock. I go across the hall, I open the door. I said, Mama, Mama. And Daddy was asleep. He said, what is it, honey? I scared him. But I said, Mama, I just saw Era. I just saw Era. And Mama knew immediately that it had happened, just like, and then I proceeded to tell them what I just told y'all. And my mother, God bless her, I know they're together now, but they totally believed me. I mean, they could see the look in my face. I'm their kid, they know. And Mama said the night before, I was sound asleep, the night before, she said she didn't make her paw noise on the door, but she said it's like she knew I was up and I could see her shadow, just like it always was when she would be shifting her position or whatever. And Mama said, I almost went to go see if she needed to be a good girl. She said, and I didn't because she seemed to settle down. And then the shadow was just there. So she said, I didn't go over and open the door. And she always, always regretted that, always. We had talked about it, I don't know, a few months before my mama left. And she always regretted not getting up and opening that door so she could have seen her. But we never saw her again. We never saw the shadow again. It was just strictly, like I said, Arrow's goodbye. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get emotional. It's been 31 years, but man, we had that dog a long time. And she was a good one. And I've got my little rascal. Y'all know I've shown him the videos, and we love him. We love that boy. But Arrow just is one, you know, sometimes we have animals that just have a special place in our heart. And that was my story. So it was paranormal for sure, but it was so real until she faded away and I saw that glow. But anyway, y'all, that was a happy feeling I had. I had a happy feeling. Did I cry? Of course I did. But it was a happy experience for me. All right, well, there's tale number 3. I'm sorry I'm not telling y'all I lived in a haunted house or anything. I have family members that have had horrifying experiences, but that's between them. I'm not going to share those stories unless they say it's okay, and I'm not going to do that. Well, after this one, I'll have one more tale for y'all. And let's see how old, I don't know, I was in my early 20s when this one with Era happened. I'm trying to just go in order of how they happened, you know. So anyway, there you have it. That's it. Arrow's goodbye. All right, I'll see y'all for the next tale.